Can I prove that God is listening to your prayers? Have you ever wondered if God truly listens to our prayers? It's a question that has puzzled believers and non-believers alike for centuries. We often find ourselves talking to God, sharing our deepest thoughts, desires, and fears, but do we ever stop to think about whether He's actually listening? I mean, think about it, we're essentially having a one-sided conversation with someone we can't see or hear. This topic hits close to home for many of us, as prayer is a fundamental part of our spiritual journey. Whether you're a devout Christian, a casual believer, or just someone who dabbles in spirituality, the idea of prayer is a powerful way to connect with something greater than ourselves. But what happens when our prayers seem to go unanswered? Prayers can be a source of comfort, strength, and guidance, but they can also be a source of frustration and doubt. I think we've all been there at some point or another, pouring our hearts out to God, only to feel like our words are falling on deaf ears. It's like, God, I'm talking to you, but are you even listening? It's a feeling that can shake our faith and leave us wondering if we're just talking to ourselves. So, let's explore this idea further. What does it mean for God to listen to our prayers? Is it a literal, physical act, or is it something more spiritual? And what happens when our prayers aren't answered in the way we expect? Does that mean God isn't listening, or is there something more going on that we can't understand? When we pray, we often expect a certain outcome, but what if that's not what God has in store for us? It's tough to understand why some prayers are answered and others aren't. Sometimes, it feels like God is ignoring us or doesn't care about our problems. But what if He's working in ways we can't see? It's easy to get caught up in feelings of disappointment and frustration. We might start to doubt God's existence or wonder if He's even listening. But what if our doubts are a natural part of our faith journey? What if they're an opportunity to grow and deepen our understanding of God? Doubts can creep in when we feel like our prayers aren't being heard. We might wonder if we're doing something wrong or if God is just not interested in our problems. But what if God is listening in a way that we can't quite understand? What if He's working behind the scenes to bring about a solution that we can't see? Sometimes, we might feel like we're not good enough or that our prayers aren't worthy of God's attention. But what if God isn't concerned with our worthiness? What if He just wants to have a relationship with us? Think about it, a father wants to hear from his child, even if the child doesn't always say the right thing. When we feel unheard, it's easy to get discouraged. But what if that's exactly when God is working the most? What if He's using our doubts and fears to draw us closer to Him? It's like, He wants us to come to Him with our questions and our doubts, so He can show us the truth. People often talk about the power of prayer, but what does that really mean? Is it just a matter of saying the right words or following a certain formula? Or is it something deeper? I think it's more about the posture of our hearts. Are we coming to God with humility, trust, and a willingness to listen? Theological views on prayer vary widely. Some people believe that God has a specific plan for each of us and that our prayers can influence that plan. Others see prayer as a way to connect with God on a deeper level, regardless of the outcome. From a psychological perspective, prayer can be a powerful tool for healing and growth. It can help us process our emotions, gain perspective, and find peace. But what about when our prayers aren't answered? Does that mean we should just give up? Our understanding of prayer can be influenced by our personal experiences. Some people have had powerful experiences of answered prayer, while others have felt like their prayers have gone unanswered. The Bible talks a lot about prayer, and it's clear that God values our communication with Him. But what does it mean for God to listen to our prayers? Is it a literal act, or is it more of a spiritual reality? Exploring different cultures and their views on prayer can be eye-opening. Some cultures have a strong tradition of prayer, while others may view it as less important. What if God's way of listening is different from what we expect? What if He's not just about answering our prayers in the way we want, but about transforming us into the people He wants us to be? At the end of the day, prayer is about relationship. It's about connecting with God on a deep level and trusting Him with our lives. Whether or not we feel like He's listening, we can trust that He's with us. Let's consider a story that illustrates the power of prayer. There was a woman who had been praying for years for a loved one to come to Christ. Despite feeling like her prayers were going unanswered, she continued to trust God and pray. One day, her loved one had a dramatic conversion experience. It was a powerful reminder that God is always working, even when we can't see it. Stories like this remind us that God is always listening, even when we can't feel it. He is always working, even when we can't see it. As we think about prayer, let's remember that it's not just about getting what we want. It's about growing in our relationship with God. In the silence, we can find peace. We can trust that God is listening, even when we can't feel it. To sum it up, prayer is a powerful way to connect with God. It's not always easy, and it's not always clear if He's listening. But we can trust that He is, and that He's working in our lives. So, I want to leave you with a challenge today. Take a few minutes to reflect on your own prayer life. Are you feeling like God is listening to you? If you've had experiences with prayer, good or bad, share them with us in the comments. We'd love to hear your stories. If you want more content like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot of other videos that explore the intersection of faith and everyday life. Also, check out this other video we did on how to pray when you feel like God isn't listening. It's a great follow-up to this conversation.